What up, tile friends? How's everybody doing? Hey, real quick. If you like overpriced swag, head over to TileMoney, shoptilemoney.com. I believe that's the website, shoptilemoney.com. The link is in the show notes wherever you're watching or listening to this. We've got some overpriced swag over there. No, but seriously, if you want to support us, you can go hit it up, check it out. You might find something you want to wear. We've got another Friday flashback, and today we've got episode, I don't know what number it is, doesn't matter. It was in the early days. It was my man Ben Santos came on and blew my mind with this episode, and I hope it'll blow your mind. We're going to be talking about how to increase your value as both an employee. Maybe you're an employee. I have a lot of employees that actually listen to this. Maybe you're an employee and you want your boss to give you money. Ben was in that same scenario. Let's hear what he did. And maybe you're a boss man and you just want more money to give your employee. Let's hear how this worked. And I think it goes both ways. I think it's a beautiful little lesson here today. Big shout out to happytileguy.com. Listen, if you're in need of a tile contractor website built by Tile Contractor, head over to happytileguy.com to find out what we can do for you. We're building beautiful websites. $500 gets you a website built, and then it's $99 a month. The reason we do it this way is because honestly, there's more work ongoing every single month than there's not a whole lot of work in this day and age for building a website, a beautiful looking website for you, especially for tile contractors. I mean, you're not doing transactions on there. There's nothing too complicated. But there is work because Google, WordPress, every other aspect of the website needs to be updated from time to time. And somebody who tells you it doesn't is just telling you a crock of lies. All right, let's get to this flashback, guys. I don't want to waste a lot of your time today. I never want to waste your time. I hope I never do. But let's check out what he says. So Ben's going to tell us about kind of the way it was in the early years when he partnered up with, or started working, I should say, with Jason Hamilton, and how he went from a helper to a partner in the business. So let's dive into this first section here, and we're going to listen to a couple minutes of this. So Ben is talking about the contractor that they were subbing for.
We had one builder we were working for. We were working for 2008 prices as far as, deep recession style prices.
Yeah.
And Jason just never pushed this guy to increase his prices.
Yeah.
And I approached Jason. I said, I need more money. I need a raise.
Yeah.
I'm working hard, whatever. He's like, there's no money.
Yeah.
And I believed him.
Yeah.
And what I started doing was I started working on our website. I started to develop our own leads.
He asked you to do this?
No.
Okay. So you went out and did this on your own for your employer's business, correct?
Yes, because I wanted to make more money.
Yeah.
And the only way, if you're a helper out there and you want to make money, you provide value to the guy that you're working for. And it doesn't necessarily mean setting more tile, or if he has something that he needs done, pick it up. We all have our little talents that, that the owner might not have, right?
Awesome. Yeah, for sure.
So the best thing that we ever did was put ourselves in the position that we could lose this builder.
Yeah.
Builder didn't want to pay more. That's fine. We'll book our own work.
I love that statement. The best thing we ever did was put ourselves in a position to lose this builder. I mean, perfectly said, Ben. Bravo. All right, we got about 25 more seconds here of this rant here.
We'll book our own private stuff. A lot of the reason why these builders get to make the kind of money they do and get to dictate to you how things are going to go is because they do sales.
Yeah.
They do marketing. That's where the money is. And it's in the experience. It's not necessarily in the actual tile part.
Yeah.
The tile part is important.
Yeah.
But the other stuff is pretty important too. And
so that's
all right. So check this out. So Ben had a job as a helper, and I'm going to talk about helpers in a minute. But Ben had a job as a helper, learning the tile trade, and they were getting all their work from one builder, one contractor, right? And Ben said, hey, I could use some more money. He was a family man, had kids and a wife, and all that good stuff. And his boss said, you know what, there's no more money. And Ben said he believed him. Now, you know, that's kind of cool in itself, because so many times, you know, we might, as a younger person, we might get impatient and say, oh, there's no money in tile, I'm going to go be an electrician, or I'm going to go, you know, blah, blah, blah. But Ben saw something different. He said, why do these builders get to dictate their prices? And why do, you know, why do some people make more money? I mean, Wednesday we talked about it, you know, Hump Day Financials. If you haven't seen it, we talked about how do you know if you should double your prices? Well, I talked about all the different, you know, really aspects that go into raising your prices besides the work. And Ben said it right there. The work is very important, but it might not be the most important thing to a success of a business. You have a lot of other aspects. And so Ben set out to learn how to do some things. We're gonna look at two more examples of this episode. It's definitely worth a watch. The link to watch this full episode is in the show notes. And Ben and Jason, his partner, came back on here years later, recently, I think it was last year, and the link is in the show notes too. So there's 2 episodes you can watch featuring Ben, one by himself here, the early one, and then one him and Jason. And we're actually planning to do some work together in the mastermind and probably on the podcast as well, coming up here in the next 6 months or so. Within the next 6 months, I should say. I wanted to mention something about this word helper. I've probably said in the past that we should stop using the word helper and go to apprentice. Now, I'm going to kind of temper that, because I continue to see us use this word helper. I continue to use this. It's so ingrained in us, right? I was thinking about it. You know what? It's not necessarily a derogatory term. I mean, when you go and get a job as, you know, when you go and get a helper job your first year, I mean, you really are helping. You're helping mix thin set. Sometimes it takes a while to learn how to just mix thin set. You're hauling buckets of water or thin set, you know, to the foreman, to the installer. You're not really doing anything super technical. So in other words, I think I've come to the point where I'm good with the word helper, but understand that at some point, if I'm talking to you as a boss, you need to move your helper up and give him the title apprentice. You know, that might be when he starts making cuts, installing little things like that. In other words, really view your people as the great assets that they are. And one of the main points of encouraging everybody to charge more, you know, is to pay better and treat your people right. And then both the people you're selling your tile installations to, as well as the people helping you to do the tile installations. So, this word helper, I think it is fitting for the first 6 to 12 months of somebody's life as a tile installer, you know, helper. And then hopefully they graduate within months or maybe a year to an apprentice. But that's kind of a side note there, and I apologize if that was too distracting, but I just thought it might be good to talk about. So let's see what else Ben says here. I'm actually rewound this to the 8-minute mark. We started at the 21-minute mark. Let's see what he said as far as kind of where his mind was at when how was he going to get a raise without focusing on the work of installing tile.
I do like a overview of them after they're all done, with like the before pictures, the after pictures, the during pictures, and I write a story about how they went. Those are pretty cool. People like those. And on the main body of my site, you know, I'll write about like what makes a tile installer king.
Yeah,
is one of the ones that's on the main, that you can go on my main homepage and you can click through to get to that site. Or that blog post, and it talks about how, you know, we're the last guys in and we have to usually clean up after everybody else, and, you know, the rocker decided to do this wrong, okay, the tile guy will fix it, and this, that, and the other thing, right? Yeah. So I try to build value through that. One post, that's a tough one. One of my most popular ones, it's gotten thousands of visits throughout the world, believe it or not, from India, Russia, all over the world, is options for finishing your shower curb. So out in the field, I would always see people topping off the shower curb with bullnose.
Right.
I hate that look because you have all these different pieces. It's harder to slope it all this kind of stuff, all these little grout joints.
So a couple good lessons there. First of all, I had asked Ben what his most popular blog post was, because Ben was explaining to me, I decided to start generating more leads. And then, there's another aspect to that as well we're going to cover in the next clip. But I just started to start generating more leads by learning how to do blogging and build a website and do this and that. And I said, what was your most popular blog post? And so that's what we were talking about there. And then I like the fact, a couple things here on the blogs that he mentioned. One of them, I forget what it was, but like, why is the tile installer king? I mean, embrace it. Embrace it, guys. We are king, and if you don't believe you're king, maybe you should go be an electrician or go, but listen, we know our value, and that's something we should be proud of. And that's something we should be able to brag about a little bit. All the great athletes in the world, all the great musicians, once they kind of recognize how great they are, they do pat themselves on the back a little bit. And with a blog post or something like this, even some of my, videos, you got to kind of go with what's going to kind of get you the most traction and eyeballs on it. And so I think that was a brilliant idea. And he said it was one of his most favorite or most popular, I should say. And then the second one, or the number one most popular, he said was the one about the curbs. I think this is genius because I agree, bullnose and all that other junk on curbs is garbage in some areas. I mean, I was in California. You guys love your bullnose out there. You got like addicted to it. I mean, designers, everybody, homeowners. I mean, that's all they know, and it's so funny because it's either, I shouldn't say that's all they know, but so often where I was working, that's what they would request. So I like the idea about writing about something to give options so that you don't have to install the junk you don't want to install, right? So then we're going to move on to the 30-minute marker here and listen to Ben as he talks to us further about what to do when you get the phone to start ringing here.
Look for the deficits. The guy that you're working for right now, he has a deficit, something that he's not good at.
Okay.
Maybe you're standing there. Run his Instagram account. Ask him. His phone is blowing up in his pocket right now.
Yeah.
Say, hey, take a phone training course. You have them on the internet. Start doing research on how to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
And start taking that guy's phone calls while he's setting tile.
Okay.
Find a deficit. The guy you're working for has something that he is not good at.
Yeah.
And if you're a millennial, you might run a computer better than he did. That's me. When I was 14 years old, I made a John Wayne tribute site on homestead.com.
Yeah.
And pretty simple. I got it on YouTube. I got the bots. I got it optimized. And those rudimentary, very simple skills that I developed back then, I use them now to make our website, right?
Yeah.
So the guy has a deficit of some kind.
Yeah,
and
we all do.
If you can find it and add your skills to what he's doing, right? It's being a helper is more than carrying water and cutting tile. Yes, I know it's good, but it's you can make it more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. I know a lot of people are going to benefit from what you just.
So, couple great points here, Ben. And this episode is chocked full of great points. I mean, that's the 3 clips we're going to listen to. We're already coming up on 15 minutes. If you want to listen to this full episode, and if you think I'm full of energy, I ain't got nothing out of my man Ben. Let me tell you, he comes and he brings the heat. He's very passionate about what he does. And it really shows because, like he said, not only was he going to learn how to write the blogs and start generating the leads so that they can get out from under the weight of just having one builder, and really, at that point, what if something happens to that one builder? I mean, it's not smart to have all your eggs in one basket, as they say. Now, not only was he going to go about generating leads, but he said he went about learning how to answer the phone. And that's exactly what Ben did. You know, that's exactly what he did. And he didn't ask for more money. He's got that work ethic that, you know, is lacking in so many people at so many times. But he went out and did the work that he knew. And what has been the result? Well, if you want to know the result, listen to this episode, first of all, but then listen to one that we recorded like 2 years later with his boss, his partner, to see what the result was. I mean, these guys really do approach work as partners now. And they really do charge more. And Ben did get that raise a long time ago. And then he got another one, and then he got another one, and then he got another one. Because why? Because he's helping his boss, his partner, make more money. And so, like I said in the beginning, this is a two-way street, guys. If you're a boss out there and you got a helper, you know, when I was a helper, we didn't have all these smartphones and such. So I spent a lot of time just watching and learning from my boss. Nowadays, you know, when I had several employees and I had helpers and apprentices, I asked them, I said, hey, listen, I know there's times when there's dead time. Don't just sit here and tell jokes with your installer. And I showed them Sal DeBlasi videos. I showed them NTCA videos. I said, I want you to work your way through these videos on your downtime, not that there's no value in watching the installer. Of course, there's tons of value, but sometimes the installer might need 30, 60 minutes for something to do, you know, that the apprentice isn't really involved in, or maybe the area is too small. And that's a wrap for this one. I do want to encourage you to listen to that full episode. And if you want to follow up, definitely listen to the one where Jason and Ben came on. And they're both great episodes. This is probably the number one, the number one, I forgot what I was going to say, but it's not as well viewed as much value as it has. And that's probably my fault, because this was early on and I didn't know about SEO. I didn't know about creating titles and things. So I'm hoping we can pump up the views on this one, because I know it's going to not just to pump up the views, but because I know how much value is in it for you. He breaks down exactly what he did and how he did it in both these episodes. And if you're somebody who says, I'm sick of working for builders, I'm sick of relying on somebody, I'm sick of having all my eggs in one basket, I want to learn how to generate leads, I want to learn how to sell myself, you look at this man's videos and you will learn, because he's done it better than just about anybody I've ever interviewed. All right, tile friends, that's it for today's Friday flashback. I hope you're having a good one. Remember, if you need a website, get your website at happytileguy.com. If you want to stay in touch with all things Tile Money, text the word Tile Money, no space, Tile Money, one word, 844-446-7623. Happy Friday, tile friends. Go out to yourself and get yourself some. If you're working tomorrow, listen, be balanced, but get to it. Get your stuff done so you can have an early day. If you need an early day, go home and live your life.